America first, American first. And that is the scenario that is being executed by Mr. Donald Trump in executive order from the President of America. Whatever the rule and regulations America had with its own citizens and America had with international community, all rule and regulation are being decided by Mr. Donald Trump and executive orders are being released from Donald Trump to change the all the law that is being taking place. Like like free trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. These are the government trade agreements that by executive order of president these are being changed with one signature of the pen. No rule and regulation are working nowadays. I'm serious about it. There is no rule and regulations are working nowadays. There is a news of agony. There is a news of pain that is coming from China. Today is Friday and yesterday was Thursday. Four Canadian citizens, four citizens of Canada, they were executed in China yesterday. Execution in China happens through gunshot. Means people they will be asked to stand in a kind of in a line or something like that, and through gunshot they are killed, executed, not like a hanging or something like that. That is the Chinese rule. Four Canadian citizens they were executed yesterday Thursday by Chinese authorities. Now, the Chinese authority in Ottawa, that is the capital of Canada, in Chinese embassy, they have declared it that this is something that is not unprecedented in China. These four Canadian people, they were found guilty of smuggling drugs, narcotics, and that is strictly prohibited in China. In that sense, they were tried and found guilty. There is a substantial, there is a kind of, there is a substantial proof against them. That's why they got they got executed. Now, Milani Jolie, and she is a minister of Canada. And now she is saying that these were dual citizens of Canada and China who got executed. Now, China in Ottawa embassy, they have categorically denied it, saying China does not provide dual citizenship at all. Why she is lying? Okay, this proves that Canada had all the information about this execution. World did not have any information about the execution, but Canada had information about the execution. The execution of four Canadian citizenship. Milani Jolie, she is lying. Whatever it is. Now the question is arising that in what circumstances they were executed. Chinese authorities are saying that they were provided consular access. I believe family members they also met them in China, and yesterday they were executed. Now the Canadian politicians they are crying foul, they are shouting that they were knowing that this execution is going to happen. The president, prime minister of Canada, the Justin Trudeau, who has left his office, I believe, last week, he and the foreign minister, I believe, Milena Jolie, they both urged to the China for the clemency for pardoning them. Okay, but China did not hear it. Now, Canadian politicians they are saying so they were knowing that China had provided consular access and many things had happened. So they were knowing that there is a death sentence for the four Canadian citizens out there, but they did not know that all of a sudden this will happen. That they did not know. So this is under question mark now. That China, why they executed four Canadian citizens all of a sudden. Anyway, they were under the death penalty that was known to these people, but why they executed them all of the sudden. Anyway, there are many questions arising here. First of all, when Canadian government was knowing it, why they did not disclose it globally. Number one. Number two, why they did not go to International Court of Justice. Number two. Number three, China is not known to execute any foreigner, never. Especially the Western foreigners, they never executed, they got executed in China, never. This is probably the first time it is happening. If this is the first time it is happening, then it is a pure case of long trial. And you have to inform the international community about it. That these people, they were found guilty of doing the illegal activity, drug activity in China. That's why we are executing it. Why both sides kept quiet? That is the biggest thing here. Why both sides kept quiet and all of a sudden everyone is shouting. What is the case of drugs in China? Okay, now Donald Trump has been shouting for past 2 months that fentanyl, that is an opioid, synthetic opioid, and that is smuggled in America from the Canada and Mexico. Last year, 12,000 kilogram of fentanyl was collected at the kind of border. They were being smuggled into America. 12,000 kilogram. 1 kilogram of fentanyl is sufficient to kill 500,000 people. Every year, last year, 110,000 people died in America because of the opioid related drugs, and 70% of them were from the fentanyl only. China is considered as the source of the kind of the chemical that are used to to make the fentanyl. There is a word that is used for that. Okay, so the resources, I'm forgetting the word, the resources that are used to synthesize the fentanyl, those resources, those chemicals, they come from China only. Okay, and these chemicals, they are illegally and legally. These chemicals legally they go to United States, and their fentanyl is being synthesized and prescribed as legal drugs. Illegally, these chemicals are being smuggled into Mexico and Canada, and they are illegally they are synthesized fentanyl and precursors. These are called precursors. Precursors to create the fentanyl. Okay, natural opioid precursors come from Afghanistan, whereas the synthetic fentanyl, these precursors they come from China and illegally, legally or illegally, and they come to Mexico and Canada. There they are synthesized and then they are smuggled into America. Now these four Canadians looks like they were in the smuggling of fentanyl precursors only. That's why China is fully confident now and America cannot say anything here. International Court of Justice also would not have said anything here because these people are responsible for killing 100 of thousand people around the globe, 500,000 people, 600,000 people they die because of fentanyl around the globe, overdose of fentanyl. Around 80 or 90,000 people in America, they are dying because of the fentanyl. And these Canadian looks like they were smuggling the fentanyl only. There are other cursor for it. In 2018, an Huawei engineer, Huawei is a company in China, Huawei's founder daughter, she was arrested in Canada under US warrant of fraud. US had issued a warrant, arrest warrant of that lady in a fraud case. And then Canada has arrested in 2018 that lady. Anyway, with paying lump sum of money, that lady, she went back to the China. But at that time, this China had arrested two Canadian in the case of espionage, in spy case, espionage case. So spying case. So there it had arrested two Canadians in that retaliation only. Last October 2024, the Canada has imposed a high tariff on Chinese electronic product and Chinese steel and aluminum product. Last month, China in retaliation it put kind of high tariff on the Canadian products also. China has big export in America and Canada. So people are seeing it as China has done in retaliation to the kind of the export to the tariff that is being imposed on China through America and Canada. So when these people are not taking care of China as far as their export is concerned, then why China would take care of their citizen when they are doing very nonsense job, that is smuggling fentanyl precursors. So this is what China for. Anyway, Amnesty International, it came into the picture and it has put a deep sorrow on this execution. And it has claimed that in 2023, China has executed thousands of people. Anyway, in this Canadian case, one Chinese engineer has also been sentenced to the death when he was kind of either he was involved in it or he was providing some information about this to the Canada or something like that. China is very strict in the narcotic as per the Chinese government. How much it is strict that God knows. But right now, this is what China is saying. Anyway, these are the what is happening that we have communicated. What is behind the carpet? Under the carpet. Under the carpet is the father of democracy, America. Now it has started running for the money, everywhere running for the money. Rather than paying any responsibility to a democratic system, it has kept democracy on some, it has thrown democracy in some debris and responsibility for the democracy in the debris. And it is running for money here and there. What I can say, I cannot say more than that. It's a very prestigious country. The way America and Donald Trump is doing for money side, like the way they are insulting Israel and Ukraine, and the way they are doing like that, means whoever were friend of America, now they have turned to their enemy because friend were taking money. Now, in that sense, democracy and democratic countries are becoming weaker now. This shows that America and Canada they have become weaker now, and China did not pay any attention on them. Chinese products are impossible to stop. That is for sure because it is being used by normal. It is being used by people they have moderate income or lower income in any country. So they can raise the tariff and it is hitting China now. That is for sure. Chinese company, they have stopped manufacturing Chinese exported item in China now. They are investing in kind of Indonesia, Malaysia, and then Cambodia, these kind of countries, so that the price of the production will be less. This is going very red with China now. Now, if means China has showed that if you don't take care of us, then why we should take care of you? That is the response, whatever it is. The only loss that is going to happen is democratic system in the world. We are reiterating it in every discussion that democracy is on toss now. When China has done this, then China has no care for the democratic country now. Some time back, Shahzadi Khan from India, Uttar Pradesh, she was executed in United Arab Emirates, I believe 1 month back. This proves that UAE also, UAE has no democracy. UAE has also no care for any democratic country. Anyway, Nimisha Priya from India, Kerala, now she is under death trial in Yemen. Means no one has cared for the democratic country nowadays. So only one that is suffering nowadays is democratic system globally.